Okay, if you open up to page 19 in your Chapter 8 packets, we're going to do an 8-2 review. So, number 1 is negative 27ay cubed times negative 1/3 ay cubed. Okay, now, numbers multiply numbers. Remember, I could think of this as negative 27 times negative 1/3 times a times y cubed times y cubed. Because multiplication is commutative, so I can rewrite the numbers. Negative 27 times negative 1/3 is a positive 9. A times a is a squared. Y cubed times y cubed is y to the 6th. Okay, now number 2. The difference between negative 2 to the 4th and negative 2 in parentheses to the 4th. Well, any negative inside parentheses raised to an even power is positive. But this is saying do 2 to the 4th and take the opposite of it, so this is negative. Okay, number 4. This is 5x squared plus 2x squared. These are like terms. This is addition. So the rules that we've learned of exponents do not apply to addition. So when it's like terms, you just add the coefficients and you leave the x squared alone. So you're adding 5 of these things called x squareds plus 2 of these things called x squareds, and you end up with 7 of these things called x squares. It's not x to the 4th. Okay. Now, number 5, all you need to know about number 5 is a plus b squared is not and never will be a squared plus b squared. All we know how to do so far is a plus b squared is a plus b times a plus b. Number 6 is 3a squared cubed plus 2 times a cubed squared. I do power of a product, so this becomes 3 cubed, which is not 9, it's 27, a to the 6th, plus 2a to the 6th, and together that's 29a to the 6th. And then number 7, now x times x to the 5th, y to the 4th, z. This can be rewritten as just x times x to the 5th times y to the 4th times z, which would just be x to the 6th, y to the 4th, z. Okay, there is no such thing as distributing over multiplication. You're just multiplying the entire term. Okay, now, number 8. So, number 8, 2f squared g cubed over 3fg to the 4th. 2 ways to handle this. You could fake distribute the 4 to each term, but I always think it's better to simplify what you can. And what we can simplify is f squared over f, so that becomes 2f. G cubed over g becomes g squared, all over 3. Now I do the power of 4, so it becomes 2 to the 4th, f to the 4th, g to the 8th, over 3 to the 4th. And 2 to the 4th is 16, f to the 4th, g to the 8th, and 3 to the 4th is 81. So this becomes 16, f to the 4th, g to the 8th, over 81. And now, number 9. So 2s cubed t cubed over st squared times 3st cubed over s squared t. So the first thing I would do is simplify this. That becomes 2s squared t, because 3 minus 1 is 2, 3 minus 2 is 1. Then I have to do 3 cubed s cubed t cubed. 3 cubed is 27, s cubed t cubed, and this is over s squared t. So 2s squared t times 27. This becomes st squared, and this becomes 54 because I do 2 times 27. S squared times s is s cubed. T times t squared is t cubed. Okay, and then number 10, 2m to the 5th n over 4m squared, whole thing squared, times mn to the 4th over 5n. So first thing I'm going to do is simplify inside. 2 over 4 becomes 1 over 2. M to the 5th over m squared becomes m cubed n. And m n cubed over 5. Okay, now this becomes 1 squared is still 1. M cubed squared is m to the 6th n squared all over 4 times mn cubed all over 5. And now I multiply m to the 6th times m is m to the 7th. N squared times n cubed is n to the 5th. 5 times 4 is 20. Okay. And then lastly, number 11. 3x cubed y over x squared cubed times y squared x to the 4th over 5y squared. Again, I'm going to try to simplify what's inside the parentheses. X cubed over x squared just becomes 3xy cubed, and that becomes 27x cubed y cubed. This becomes, okay, well, y squared over y would just be y up top, so that becomes y squared x to the 8th over 25. So, multiplying this, y squared, well, let's rewrite that. So I'll do this in 2 steps. Instead of just me telling you y squared over y, I'll write y x to the 4th over 5 squared, and that becomes y squared x to the 8th over 25. This is over 1. So this becomes 27 over 25. X to the 11th, y to the 5th. So the final answer would be 27, x to the 11th, y to the 5th. And you can extend that line, or you didn't have to, all over 25. That's the end of page 19.